What's good, YouTube? It's NewRush, and today we're going to go over on how to build a Gaints B10 speed team. So a couple weeks ago, I put out a video on how to build a slow team, so pretty much safe team. Now you want to start off with that safe team because you're gonna build. That's how you're gonna be farming the runes. You're probably your times are probably gonna be anywhere from like 3 minutes to 5 minutes, and that's fine. You guys are gonna have to stick with that for a couple of months, and the reason why is because if you're going to try and build a speed team, you want to make sure it's as close to 100% as possible, okay? If your safe team is 100%, that's really good. Even though it's slow, you'll get those runes over time, and you won't waste any energy and extra time trying to build a speed team. One of the biggest mistakes you can do is try to, you'll have some really good monsters, and you'll try to fit them into a team, and then do a speed team, and they'll fail like 50% of the time, and then you might be like, I can force it, let's just do it. And you know what? If it fails, you're wasting energy, you're wasting mana, you're wasting time. So just focus on building that safe team first. After that speed team, you're going to build that speed team. Now, what are core monsters that you need to have in order to build a proper speed team? Well, I'm going to say Galleon is the most important. Now, you don't absolutely need a Galleon, but out of all the monsters that you see that I'm using right now, Galleon's going to help the most. Galleon pretty much does two things in one monster that you're going to need in order to do a speed run, and that's an attack buff and a defense break, okay? If you don't have Galleon, that's actually okay. You can use like a combination of monsters. So, for instance, Megan and Bernard. And why is that? Well, Megan has the attack and defense buff, so that means that you can survive a hit if the giant gets a turn. She'll also give you more turns because the attack bar boost, and she gives you attack buff. And then Bernard, because Bernard also gives you more turns because of his third skill, but his second skill does defense break and attack break. So, in combination with Megan, if you got that attack break on, and then the defense buff on you, and then the giant moves and hits your team, you'll take a lot less damage, and you'll get more turns. So that's a variation you can use if you don't have Galleon. Now, I use Devolution here. If you've got Devolution, a lot of high-level players will use Devolution or of some sort. And the reason why is because Devolution is really good at clearing the waves. If you got a really crazy good Nat 5 like Teor and Lagmaron, that's good for you guys because they like clear the waves. But I don't have them, but I'll have Devolution. You'll most likely have Illusion to clear more than like a Nat 5, so that's where Illusion comes in handy. If you don't have one, or if you don't have any Illusions, that's fine. Just put in a monster that does like AoE damage that can clear waves. So a good free-to-play monster, Sigmarus. Why? Because he's got that AoE, but also his third skill does damage based on the enemy's max HP. So against the boss, he'll do a lot of damage. So Sigmarus is a great monster to use. What's another good monster to use? If you've got a Tashar, he's great too. He's got this crit damage leader, which is really, really good as well. So he'll help clear waves. Plus, he'll give your team the necessary crit rate in order to do enough damage. Jeez, I could not find the words to talk. Anyways, so that's that. Now you can see also I'm using a Hua. So if you have a Hua, I recommend using Hua. Now, why is that? Now you might be like, whoa, bro, he's a fire. He's got elemental disadvantage. Why would you want to use her? Well, the reason why is because Hua's third skill is really unique. If you guys don't know what it does, basically there's a chance that she'll hit twice, so she'll hit again, but also she'll reduce the attack bar of the monsters she attacks. Now, why is that important? Well, when you get to the boss, she's kind of like a safety net. She will always, no matter what, even if she glances, reduce the attack bar, and she reduces attack speed and puts dots on. So they're all good against the giant boss. So when she moves, she kind of gives your team an extra turn to like, okay guys, let's clean up the boss before he moves and kills us all. So that's why she's good. I'm using Yaku as well. Yaku, I use him on my Giants team, so I just kind of threw him, or sorry, my Dragons team, so I threw him on here on the Giants team. Why is he good? Well, it's because his third skill ignores defense, but his second skill is just like Sig in the sense that he does damage based on the max HP of the monster that he attacks, so he'll do a huge chunk. So if you guys have monsters that do damage based on max HP, they're extremely useful at clearing the boss. So that's a couple of things I want to talk about. Now, the last thing that's probably the most important is that when you build a Gaints B10 team, you got to make sure that they're speed tuned. I think I talked about this, for a second, but pretty much You want, if you got Galleon, you want Galleon to move first because you want that attack buff and defense break. If you got Megan, you want Megan to move first because she's got the attack buff and the attack bar buff. If you've got a Bernard move. So basically you want those monsters to move first, then you want AoE clears to move next. And so they'll go like attack buff, AoE clear, next wave. You know, you got your next AoE clear or whatever monsters move, and by the time Galleon or Megan or whatever you get to the last boss, they'll move first. So the idea is Galleon will move first, put on the defense break, attack buff, monsters will all move, kill the boss, and you're good to go. You're done the run. Alright? That's the idea. It doesn't always work out, but as long as you guys got the runes from doing your safe slow run, you should be able to clear 100% of the time. Okay? So those are a couple of things that are pretty damn important in order to make a speed team. Pretty much speed team again is anything under a minute and 30, I pretty much say. So if you guys have the monsters, go ahead. If you guys don't have the monsters, that's fine. Experiment with a couple of monsters that you have that you might think might be good, but just keep in mind of some of the things that I talked about that you will need. Alright, so let's see here. Let's go over some of the runes really quick of my monsters, and then you guys are able to build, then you guys kind of focus on how you should build your monster. So here's my Galleon. So those are his stats, these are his runes. I use them on my dragons team. So there you go. That's him. Here's a Sigmaris. This Sigmaris is quite slow. Your Sig should be a little faster than mine, but he doesn't have the best runes. Sigmaris does work as well. If you guys have Theomars is actually pretty good too because he does defense break. He actually can survive because of this third skill, Elemental King. So, which is really, really good as well. Here's my Yaku. Here are his runes. There you go. Alright. Lucian number 1. Nothing too special about these guys. They're not even that good. I've had better runes on them, but I actually just stripped it recently to put onto my Yaku and just kind of test here and there. So that's that, and let's see here. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Here's my Megan. Nothing special about her. Alright. Alright, and now the last thing is that you want to make sure that the monsters that you have enough skill ups. You want them pretty much maxed out if you guys can. It'll just help clear the runs a lot better with the lower cooldowns and the more damage they do. And your glory point or your glory towers as well. So spending your glory points properly. So I'll have a video on how to properly spend them, but pretty much after you get your Devilmon every week, you want to first work on that Sky Tribe Totem and then this Fallen Ancient here in order to get the maximum amount of damage and speed in order to clear the runs. Alright, so I don't want to keep this video too long here, so I'm going to end it here. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you guys out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Make sure to like this video, and for more videos, subscribe by hitting the button somewhere here. I'll have it somewhere on the video. And yeah, I'll have a link to my previous video right here down below. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you next video. Peace out.